What is going on, my Cardano friends? It is your friend Jack here, and in today's video we're going to be going over Cardano and the latest news and updates in the space. So with that being said, let's get into the video. First things first, if you have ADA and you want to stake it to earn passive ADA on your ADA, no lockups, nothing like that, you can do so with the Jack stake pool. Now, what we're going to be covering today is a thread from our friend Cardano Whale. So if you need links to anything I mentioned in today's video, covering the latest things happening on Cardano, from news to upgrades in the blockchain and more, then definitely head to the description and you can check out the thread there for links. First things first though, what's going on in Cardano? Well, stablecoins are going on. Matter of fact, January 2023, the month we're in right now, is the scheduled launch of JED, algorithmic stablecoin developed by Cody on Cardano. And with that, we also have some interesting protocols announcing their development, such as TeddySwap, basically a stablecoin DEX. This is launched by a well-known team with people who made things on Cardano before and are reputable, and will eventually go into something more like Curve on Ethereum. This is a much needed thing on Cardano for stablecoins, as we have a bunch coming into the ecosystem. We already have synthetic and a fiat-backed one. So there's even more coming. It's going to be probably 6+ stablecoins in the ecosystem, and this is nice to have. And if you want to know more, there's a whole thread about TeddySwap and what they're doing that will be linked down in the description as well. Comada also announced a C1 DevNet getting connected to Cardano's pre-pod testnet. This update will allow for wrapped smart contracts, or allowing us to use Layer 2 dApps on Comada as if they were Layer 1 on Cardano mainnet based dApps. This is pretty important, and this is going to be a major upgrade when it comes to mainnets for Cardano's user experience. Another big one for interoperability between different blockchains is going to be the Rosen bridge between proof of work based Emurgo blockchain and proof of stake based Cardano. This has been a bridge that came out a few weeks ago, and it has been being tested, but 2023 seems like it's going to be a good year for interoperability on Cardano, as we have this, and also the other day I mentioned in a video that we have Cardano and the hard fork to the Conway era, which will allow for even further operability between Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchains and other blockchains too. Eternal, one of the biggest wallets on Cardano, has added some interesting new functionality, including the ability for in-wallet swaps powered by MuesliSwap. And this is basically the ability to swap like a DEX and use DEX prices and aggregates simply in the wallet interface without having to go to external websites. They also have added the ability to encrypt messages when you're sending a transaction. So that's really nice too. Really just great to see more features being added to this wallet. I know a lot of people use this wallet. I believe it is probably the second most used wallet in all of Cardano. An NFT project, We Ride, previously known as Cycler, I believe, has been doing some pretty big development updates, and they've released their own gamified ride to earn experiences built on Cardano, connected to a app like Strava, Garmin, Plonin, etc., and get paid for being active. It's pretty cool, and they have a pretty awesome commercial here which goes over everything, and then at the end you can see their fancy logo. But they have their own application on Google Play and App Store, connected with your riding experience and earning actual Cardano native tokens in the form of Cycler. More people are coming over to Cardano in the interoperability movement, and that is including the Piedia DAO, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, and announcing that they're going to go cross-train from Emurgo and launching on Cardano as well. Another NFT project, Cornucopias, has published what they're doing in 2023, public testing of the mobile game and main website updates and launch, and racing game / league testing are some of the things coming for 2023, but the further planning list is long. So if you want to know more about Cornucopias and this NFT project, then check out the link down in the description to Whale's thread. One of the most anticipated things in all of crypto is price, and speculating on price is really fun. But who would have thought that after going down, 20% in a week, we would bounce right back up and come and be 12% up against Bitcoin and 8% up against Ethereum. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last. Whale thinks at some point these pairs are going to bounce viciously, given how much is happening here. I'm assuming he means bullishly towards the upside for Cardano because of all the developments happening in DeFi in the space and growth, even in a bear market. Recently, transactions have hovered in the 70,000 to 80,000 range. I believe this is daily, as around his payments for 233K. TVL jumped to 27th overall, overtaking Near, and dev activity was on top all year, as you've probably seen by a lot of my videos covering the most GitHub reports and commits being done by the Cardano blockchain. And if you want some more proof of development activity and a graph of it, here is Cardano pretty much leading the way all year. So that's just great to see. However, we do obviously not just want development activity, but we want quality results And recently, we've seen some more interoperability and some more results come over from our friends at JPEG Store. And now you can trade your NFTs with Sol or Ethereum and buy Cardano-based NFTs directly with the help of Winter NFTs. So if you have Solana or Ethereum in those wallets, you can buy NFTs on Cardano. Really good for interoperability and bringing people over from other blockchains to experience Cardano and making it easy for them. I mentioned this in a few videos ago, but we also have Poke Portfolio. If you're into NFTs, you can download this on your iOS or Android device and then just plug in your wallet or your address and see all your NFTs, the values, some really good statistics. And if you're someone who wants to keep track of that on a day-to-day, this is an easy app to use and it has a bunch of useful insights. One more thing on NFTs, the highest volume on Cardano over the last 30 days was Or Mobs by Or Times. Very intriguing progress to most. And also we have ADA Finance. Liquidity deposits are now live, allowing for smoother two-way market between lenders and borrowers. ADA Whale has been someone who participates in a lot of DeFi, so leverage longing ADA fully on chain since the lows has been something that he has been doing supposedly. Besides many native tokens that are supported, the addition of Indigo's IUSD is definitely something that helps a ton. Having a stablecoin on these type of apps is going to make a game changer for anyone because of the stability. So assuming it stays here, but also look forward to more stablecoins being on the lending and borrowing apps and making a pretty dramatic difference for people who want to get involved to actually take more money into account and play with bigger amounts. Speaking of Indigo Protocol, we have the third largest DeFi app on Cardano now, with TVL approaching over 10 million, but also probably going to keep going because they just added iETH or synthetic Ethereum yesterday in the form of the DAO for whitelisting it and voting for that. And the trading opportunities on Cardano are expanding quite fast. Cardano's protocol in general has had some large questioning of the decentralization and the state of the staking side of the network, from pool cost and how viable this is for decentralization. But Tobias Finance has published a new CIP proposal for improving staking parameters, suggesting to replace min pool cost with a min pool rate and increase the value of K parameter. I'm going to go over this more in depth in a video later today that I'll also be publishing, so stay tuned for that, as there has been a lot of people worrying about this and also just intrigued about what's going on and how this affects the decentralization of Cardano. Genius Yield saw their token airdrop to those that participated in the ISPO, so check your wallets if you are one of those people. It's likely that you have some Gens tokens sitting in there now. And they also launched their staking portal, giving us a first glimpse of their dApps. And you can also have the option to lock your Gens tokens away for 6 months at 9%, or 9 months at 11%, or 1 year at 15% staking. And Genius becomes a top 10 DeFi app by TVL already. Something that I've been paying attention to and really just taking an interest in is OptimFi. They went live with their revolutionary liquidity bonds, basically targeting specifically staking and borrowing staking rights on Cardano about 1 month ago. There are now 5 active pawns offering ADA yield of 5.33%, way above the 3.3 to 4% we get nowadays, and MusiSwap made them tradable. So now people who have active bonds can trade them away to other people who want to have those staking rights and want to pay the lenders their money. An Oracle on Cardano, Charlie 3, is doing a quick note that development is on track. Really good to see. We need oracles for things to work on Cardano and DeFi to function properly and other things among that. And also Paribus is a cross-chain borrowing and lending platform for NFTs, initially launching on L2 to Cardano on Macomata, as well as L2 Ethereum Arbitrum. So this is pretty cool. They intend to be cross-chain and bridge liquidity to Cardano. Their token PBX becomes tradable on wingriders.com. So if you want to check it out, definitely go over there. But another thing that is just interoperability to Cardano, as we can see here. Something that I've mentioned quite a few times in the past videos, and I'm going to mention again because it's very important, is Mesh SDK, one-stop shop for building Web3 apps on Cardano, and can be found at meshjs.dev. Definitely check it out if you're interested in developing on Cardano. But they released version 1.3.0 this week. Jingo's code also showed us that Mesh AI leveraged ChatGPT to help you use Cardano applications and build Cardano apps, and the fine-tuning is in the progress, but lots of good things happening here to just overall make developing Cardano a whole lot easier, which is very important for the long run and the short run. Also, as I mentioned at the start of the video, the Conway era is coming, and I have a whole video on this if you want to check it out. Essentially, Bitcoin, Ethereum, interoperability, and much, much more, and other scaling upgrades and just things being enabled from this coming as early as this February. I mentioned at the start of the video that you can stake with Jack Stake Pool, but there are tons of great stake pool operators out there and stake pools to stake to. Whale suggests one of his favorites, OTG, so if you're interested in that and you want to support, definitely consider them too. We mentioned Eternal Wallet, and now I'm going to be mentioning Beacon Wallet, a newer wallet that's quickly becoming a favorite of Whale's, and they're working on a mobile ledger integration, which would be big because I know a lot of people out there use mobile wallets, and keep in mind they also do have a current mobile wallet that is their main product, I believe. I mentioned Pokey in today's video to track your NFTs, but you can also use a multi-wallet app called Jungle, and Jungle builds a lot of different tools, but they also have a portfolio and wallet tracker if you're interested in that for multiple wallets. And since I know a lot of people are going to be asking, they also help with taxes, so that is probably pretty important to note and definitely something you should be keeping track of so you do not get screwed over later down the line. And finally, quite a lot will be coming from one of the 3 founding partners of Cardano, Emurgo, in 2023. We will be able to see the launch of a fiat-backed stablecoin, as I mentioned earlier, hopefully on TeddySwap 2, USDA, but also Emurgo backed a starter DeFi hub will deliver quite a lot. Q1 should see the launch of their ADEX and Launchpad. That's it for news on Cardano today. Definitely stay tuned for later video on the evening, as it will be about Cardano's decentralization and the stake pool parameters. And if you're interested in that, check it out. But that's it for today's video. Stay with the Jack Stake Pool. Check out the links down in the description if you're interested in the thread, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.